What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fields? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we shed before? Did you ever stop to notice the crying earth, the weeping shore? What have we done to the earth? Look what we've done. What about all the peace that you pledged your holy son? What about flowering fields? Is there a time? What about all the dreams that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the children dead from war? Did you ever stop to notice the crying earth, the weeping shore? I used to dream, I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are, but I know we've drifted far. Can we set him free?
Without a warning, without a sound, we woke up one morning to a world turned upside down. Everything changed in the blink of an eye, dealing with the unknown and trying to survive. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And we is all over in our new reality, where we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We've been through quite a battle, like none we've ever seen. We kept hoping we'd wake up to find out it was all a bad dream. But that day's never come. It'll be a while yet, with more obstacles to overcome and challenges to be met. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. And when this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more.
Confusion, I release pain of illusion. Yes, there's only one solution. Yeah, yeah. What I found is oh so simple. Deeper love in a temple, and I found it in the stillness of my soul. 'Cause all there is God.
is God.
All there is God.
All there is God.
All there
All there is God. God is all there is.
Now I'm resting in the knowing that my good is overflowing, and my faith is ever growing. Yeah, yeah. Take me back to the beginning. Feel my spirit moving in me. Make me stronger, make me willing, yeah. All there is God. All there is God, yeah. All there is God. Oh, God, everywhere you turn.
Just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello, and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community, and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. If you would like to learn more about our multi-faith community or help support it, go to www.podpeopleofdiversity.org, and there'll be more announcements after the message, so stick around.
The topic is courage. Last week we heard from Dr. Reverend Leslie Rust with a Christian perspective on courage. He was connected to Daniel Capel, our singing violinist. Today we'll hear from Oracle, and he's hanging out with Victor Morgado. And next week we'll hear from me, Oibe. and we'll hang out with Donna a little bit. I'm really looking forward to that. And without further ado, we'll dive right into Oracle and Victor.
The song on the theme of courage for the People of Diversity Service this week is a song by Bruce Colburn, iconic Canadian singer-songwriter who's been around for 50 plus years, wonderful musician, guitarist, and singer and songwriter. The song's called Wondering Where the Lines Are. It was a huge hit for him. And it touches on several themes with beautiful imagery. And I take it as a wonderful song about courage and overcoming those fears, not knowing what's around the corner, the lines. Where are those lines, and where are they? Am I going to be able to overcome and defeat those fears and muster up that courage to do what I need to do, whether it's to love another, find the courage to get out there and do what your life's meaning, or to love God or find faith. We have to overcome these fears, these nagging thoughts. The imagery in the song is beautiful, talking about nature and lines and trees and rivers and ecstasy. And ecstasy that comes when you overcome those fears with the courage that you muster from within. The song by Bruce Colburn is called Wondering Where the Lines Are. Sun's up, looks okay. The world survives into another day. Thinking about eternity, the kind of ecstasy that hold on me. I didn't know the dream about lines after the whole the world I was finding as they were before. I'm thinking about eternity, some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. Walls, window, trees, waves coming through. You being me and I'll being you, together in eternity. I got an ecstasy, got a hold on me. Up among the birds where it smells so sweet, or down in the valley where the river used to be. I got my mind on eternity. I got an ecstasy, got a hold on me, and I'm wondering where the lines are. 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 Here George Flambeau rises off the lake, 1,000-year-old petroglyph doing a double take, pointing a finger at eternity. I'm sitting in the middle of this ecstasy. Young men marching out but shining in the sun, polished and precise like the brain behind the gun. They got me thinking about eternity. Got an ecstasy, got a hold on me. And I'm wondering where the lines are. 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 I'm wondering where the lines are. Wondering where the lines are. Raiders on the night on the surface of the bay. One of these days they're gonna sail away. I'm gonna sail into eternity. The kind of ecstasy got a hold on me. And I wonder where the lines are. 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 Ooh. I wonder where the lines are. Wonder where the lines are. I wonder where those lines. Oh, wonder where the lines are. Wonder where the lines are. Wonder where the lines are. Second song I'm doing this week for the People of Diversity service on the theme of courage is a song called Superman, It's Not Easy by another iconic American singer-songwriter named Fight for Fighting. This song celebrates courage, the courage that it takes for someone who puts on the facade like Superman, who's the theme of this song, who's up there fighting evil and showing all that strength, but within that courage to overcome all the inner vulnerabilities that every person faces, and questioning, and courage without any sort of overcoming fear is just recklessness. In fact, recently and sadly, I had the occasion. I was on the road near my home, and this person on a motorcycle drove by between lanes at a reckless speed and just disobeying all the traffic laws. And he sped around the corner, probably doing close to 150 to 200 kilometers per hour. That's Canadian, and you can look it up. I'm not sure what that is American. And he was reckless, and I wouldn't call that courage. That was recklessness. And sadly and unfortunately, he turned the corner up ahead. I didn't see it, and he lost his life in a sad accident. Single vehicle accident. That's recklessness. Real courage is something that you muster up within you to overcome your fears and vulnerabilities and questions. And it takes courage to do that. And that's how I interpret it. And just like it takes courage to love someone or love God or find faith, you have to draw it from within and overcome those questions and fears. And that's what real courage is. It's not recklessness. It's courage. This song is called Superman, It's Not Easy by Fight for Fighting, and it actually became a theme song for the first responders at 9/11. And that's real courage right there, where they were overcoming these fears of the unknown, taking their lives. Many lost their lives, taking their lives in hand and finding the courage to respond to those situations just like they still do today. This song is Fight for Fighting's Superman, It's Not Easy.
Stand flying. I'm not by my ear. I'm just out to find that part of me, more than a bird, more than a plane, more than some little place beside a train. It's not easy to be me. Wish that I could cry, fall upon my knees, find a way to lie, find a home I'll never see. May sound absurd, don't be naive, Heroes have the right to bleed. Maybe the star wants you to see. Even heroes have the right to drink. It's not easy to be mean. Above and away from me. It's alright. It's all sleeps out tonight. Am I crazy? Or anything? I can't stand to fly. I'm not bad naive. Men were meant to ride. While between their knees, morning man, silly retreat. They give all kryptonite on this one-way street. Morning man, funny retreats. Looking for special brains inside of me, inside of me, inside of me, inside of me, inside of me. I'm only a man, funny retreat, only a man looking for a dream. Money man, money retreat. It's not easy. Ooh, it's not easy to be me. Ooh.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, or good evening, depending on what time you're in. My name is Oracle Hikatios. I'm very pleased to be part of your journey this morning or this evening, depending on what time you're seeing it. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Becky and Scott and the people of diversity for allowing me to continue to be a minister and a speaker of this beautiful ministry. And if you haven't donated, please do so on their website. And I want to thank Philip Lupo and his team for putting this together and our musical guest. Well, let's get into it. Again, my name is Oracle. I am a Wiccan high priest. That is, I'm a witch. And I want to come to the topic of courage. Now, again, I give the disclaimer as I do every time. There is no overarching council of the Wicca that determines our orthodoxy, our dogma. Instead, what we do is we come up with our own philosophies and we see if they mesh with other people, also coming from our own personal inspiration. That being said, the topic of courage is interesting because when I think of courage, I'm sure like a couple other speakers, courage, and the Cowardly Lion, from Wizard of Oz, courage escapes it. But what is courage? I mean, what are we talking about? And different perspectives come from different arenas. And so for me, um, courage is the discipline to do what is right in the face of adversity, obstacles, and challenges. It is the discipline. And I think that that's very much in tune with how we in the craft practice. For those who are active practitioners, a lot of it is motivation to become better human beings. A lot of our religious rites are about joy and peace and finding that harmony within. But what makes our religious affiliations or our religious teachings is that we, in the face of adversity, whether it was the uh, the moral panic of the 60s in England, where we had, in the 50s and 60s, where People misunderstood witchcraft. People misunderstood it and thought it satanic or evil. And this is not a blow against Satanism. Satanism is a beautiful philosophy in and of itself because it's so misunderstood. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But just to say it, from the beginning, we have been a very misunderstood minority, religious minority. And including that is also the idea that in the 80s and early 90s, there was what was called the satanic moral panic, ritual abuse moral panic. Now, what is a moral panic? Excuse me. A moral panic is an unverified or fictional attack on fictional topics regarding minorities. So, for example, we have the moral panic of the 80s and 90s where people were saying, "Oh my God, there's been people, ritual abused by satanic covens and satanic people." And this was, throughout the 80s and early 90s, where it even reached the federal government. What were they going to do about this epidemic? And there were movies made, and there was a book that started it all called Michelle Remembers by a now uh, unlicensed psychologist who coaxed through hypnotism the idea that, in a lot of patients, that they were ritually abused. They could not remember, therefore it was traumatic, therefore they were abused. And it was done by Satanism. And for some reason, at 5, they could recall innumerable details about, daggers and this and that and cloaks and stuff and chanting, but it gave way to publications and films that really reinforced this stereotype. And a lot of witches, unfortunately, were equated with this evil. And unfortunately, Satanists were too, but I'm going to stick to the topic of witchcraft. Witches were persecuted and people lost their jobs, they lost their homes, they lost their kids in custody battles. I mean, some people were put in jail. And it was just that bad. It was a ritual abuse panic, a moral panic. And we're in the process, witchcraft, traditional initiatory witchcraft, which is particularly my lineages, where it's initiatory rather than eclectic and open. We are very private. We do not reveal legal names to anybody. We can reveal ourselves should we desire, but we don't reveal anybody's. And we also take oaths where we basically agree that what happens in our covens is a private matter, whatever the case is, whether it's our how we conduct ourselves with our gods, with our intentions, with our magics, with our activities, whatever it is, we are very private. And we look at it, people are like, "Oh my God, you're so secretive. What are you hiding?" We're private. We don't have to justify our beliefs to anybody. And that takes courage because people are going to ask questions. They ask questions. They ask like 20 questions. It's a 20 questions game. What do you do? What do you believe? What do you practice? Who's in there? Da, da, da. People feel in this age of toxic information, by the way, is what I call it. In the 90s, it was called the age of information. But unfortunately, today, it's toxic. It's a toxic age of information because social media has changed so much and it has revolutionized the modicum of communication that unfortunately causes both fictional, deceptive, and uncharacteristic slander and attacks behind keyboards as opposed to truth, knowledge, wisdom, and facts. And so there is this consistent battle, especially in a very divided country right now in the United States, where I'm from, and it is a very divided paradigm. And so what we have is a lot of people are like between facts and opinions, and it is whomever may have it is, if you come with a fact, it's something. For example, in my spirituality, there's a lot of people that believe in especially in the eclectic movements, the outside movements in neo-paganism, there is a lot of really a lot of conspiratorial theories that come through because it is said that pagans, we accept anybody. Now, witches, we do not. We are very selective about who joins our groups. We are very selective. There's a process that's involved about how people come in and are accepted by our families, our spiritual family. But that's, again, that's a very in-depth conversation. But for this point of view, suffice it to say that people come in with all sorts of thoughts. And I've experienced that myself, where people have come in feeling that feel justified in the name of spirituality for their beliefs. And when you correct them and say, well, no, that's fictional, that's a myth, we really don't subscribe to that. I don't really subscribe to that. They feel attacked. They're like, oh, you're not validating me. You're attacking my spirituality. I have witnessed that and I've seen that. And I know there are people still out there like that because I encounter them all the time. Um, Truth be known that it takes courage to stand your ground. It takes courage to uh, relay facts, dis, you know, dismiss information that is not relevant to the conversation, especially when it comes to the topic of witchcraft. Now, witchcraft is many witches, we believe very few things we believe because the word belief is tied in our minds to the idea of dogma. Dogma means teaching, which is fine, but a lot of people equate belief with orthodogma or orthodoxy, the right way of believing, that there has to be a right, correct, one true way of believing. And we see this in many religions where there's an orthodoxy, an orthodogma that is passed down, and people don't question it. Well, we question many of our beliefs. We question our practices. We question where things come from. This is a healthy perspective of religion that we do. That being said, we do not allow ourselves, as best as possible, because we are human, as best as possible, we try not to be deceived in the origins of where we come from. What do I mean by that? Well, for a long time, many people believed that witches had existed for hundreds and hundreds of years, and that the burning times that took place in the Middle Ages supposedly, persecuted women and a few men, and witches were all burned, and actual witches were killed. Same in the Salem witch trials. There may have been one or two witches that actually were practicing. This is not true. This is not fact. The data does not support it. Scholars have overturned it, and they're like, no. And there's wonderful studies on this that are available both online and in book form by scholars. Be that as it may, um, the myth, the topic of secrecy, the importance of secrecy and privacy in our religious life continues, but it was originally inspired by the myth of persecution in the Middle Ages, which never happened to witches. People were attacked, but again, that's a historical lecture for another time. But suffice it to say, at the moment, that it wasn't as widespread as people believe. Not many were killed as people believe. Some numbers go into the millions, and that's not true. People who were persecuted in the name of heresy and witchcraft. Um, it was a sad time. It was horrible, but it wasn't the Holocaust that people make it out to be. And a lot of witches today, especially eclectics, have a persecution complex. And this happens in religions too. It takes courage to say, no, my belief goes back this far and I'm content with it. I am happy with my choice. I am happy with my belief. I don't have to justify hundreds and thousands of years of systems because honestly, part of courage, part of acting courageous, and I'm not going to give really definition symbols, but I'm giving you examples of life for many of our religious affiliations and our religious people. That our lives hinge on the protections that we offer ourselves. So even though persecution may not have been like that in the Middle Ages, but it certainly came to life in the 50s, 60s, and 80s and 90s. And so we had to hide for a period of time. And in that time, that age before the internet, especially where you could only find flyers maybe in this metaphysical shop or this occult shop, which were taboo to enter in, and there weren't as many as there are today. They were, rare. And people would sneak in and be like, is there any covens nearby? Is there this nearby? Is there that nearby? And people would find themselves in these situations where they'd be like, oh my gosh, and they would find a coven, they would find a group, and there'd be the screening process. And that's how a lot of people came to the craft. Now, I want to start by saying I want to begin again, not that I haven't started, excuse me, but I want to go backwards a little bit. You see, Wicca or witchcraft became a public recognized um, um, movement. Not that it was a recognized religion, because it wasn't, because it started in England before Wicca came to the United States and then around the world, or vice versa. It spread everywhere, and when it did, it was because there was a law in England called the Witchcraft Act of 1735, which made it illegal for anybody to practice spells. So if it looked like a spell, if it looked like a charm, if it looked like you know, any kind of mysterious book with mysterious writings, with puppets and stuff like that, they were jailed immediately. Well, in 1950, I believe it was 1947 or 1951, the Witchcraft Act was repealed by England to the Fraudulent Mediums Act of 1951. The Fraudulent Mediums Act. And the Fraudulent Mediums Act meant that anybody who was a medium but was accused of being fake could then face jail time or fines or both. So in this regard, witchcraft became public because now the Witchcraft Act was repealed. Now, in some British colonies, they continued even after Britain left. For example, up until I believe it was late 90s, early 2000s or mid 2000s, Israel, which had British Palestine at that time, continued to have the Witchcraft Act on the books, even though Britain had already left. So a lot of laws were passed, throughout the British Empire. But when the Fraudulent Mediums Act hit, it was a revolution because now witches could come forward and say, "I'm a witch, and this is what I practice." And it was divided. Some people you couldn't go, you had to go public for people to find you, you know? But at the same time, you didn't want to be too open because otherwise you invited bad publicity, harmful publicity. But sometimes harmful publicity is some publicity. It's better than no publicity. And so people kept seeking out, and in the 60s, this eventually became more, the publicity increased, and in the 70s as well, until in the 80s and 90s, it totally cut it off for some time. And as I said earlier, the age of this toxic age of information, this social media generations. I say generations because the social media bridges all gaps, bridges all generations. Um, we do not, we still do not want to be out in the open where we make ourselves targets. Now, some people like myself are public. We don't mind, it's part and parcel of our craft, of our calling. We feel our vocation. And I want to dispel myths about witchcraft. I want to educate people about the nature and the religion and the the systems and the traditions and customs that have been passed down. So that way we can, I can help you uh, look less scary at what I do and what I practice. Because I believe that you deserve sometimes I believe that you deserve the right thing. You deserve to have the information that you can in order to educate yourself and be a better human being about how we tolerate certain religious paths. And witchcraft is one of those. Witchcraft is very much, it's a courageous walk because you're willingly entering into a faith that is not understood, but it calls to you. You can't help it. And I say this in the face of other things right now, moral panic going on with transgender people, where they're being blamed for so much of society's ills. And the LGBTQ plus community was the gay and lesbian community was persecuted for a long time as they were the root of society's ills, and now it's transgender people. And there's a moral panic currently going on, and it is courageous to live the life that you want to live. And it doesn't matter if you're transgender or not, if you're a witch or not, to live your truth, to live the facts of life and the facts that you want to live by that dictate your philosophies and also even opinions that are shared. This is a free country, the United States. Even though I may not agree with you, to live your truth authentically, that takes courage. That takes courage, and it should be recognized. It doesn't always mean that I'm right, but it does mean that, I have discipline enough to be able to question myself and to say, what is relevant for my life and what is not relevant for my life. And I think that that's where in between we come. Now, some people are in a position to where they cannot authentically live their lives for various reasons. They're at home, they're homeless, they're being persecuted, they have to stay in the shadows. But we should be able to offer the tools of courage to other people. They deserve to have the choice to be courageous or not. And removing and laws coming through that are removing that factor, that variable for people to exemplify who they are and live authentically, we are making decisions for them, and that is not right. We have no right, just like a witch. We do not proselytize. You will not find a witch at your door knocking saying, wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Or, would you like to hear the gospel of Gaia? We don't do that because it is forbidden, so that people have to seek us out. They have to know that they're serious and I'm serious enough to take them. And that takes courage. But having said that, authentically living your life and living your truth should be recognized. And as the laws change, as nationalism rises in this country right now and even threatens around the globe, a lot of times we feel, especially people like myself, feel that, or people that are affiliated in our religious path feel that we should go back into hiding. That even though it was a fictional past, perhaps there is a mythic lesson there about being too open. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. Each person has the right to dictate for themselves how they're going to choose to express or not express their spiritual path. If you don't come out as a witch, we call it coming out of the broom closet. If you choose to not come out, if you choose not to be public, if you choose also not to be open about your sexuality, your gender identity, whatever truth you may live by, even your opinions, your facts, and your mind, to keep them to themselves, that also takes courage. It takes courage because you have to admit to yourself that this is not the time, this is not the place. I want to say something, but perhaps it's better if I just leave it alone. That takes courage. It takes courage to be authentically you. Be authentic. Even being silent can be authentic. We have a saying in witchcraft that there is a virtue that we follow called to be silent and silence. And so by being silent, we feel there's more power in keeping things to yourself and letting your life, living your behavior, showing how you live, that speaks volumes more about your heart than it does about whatever creed you may follow. And I think that that is something that we should pay attention to more, is the notion that courage can come in various ways. In the end, I believe it is about discipline. Disciplining yourself, disciplining your communication, disciplining your choices, and allowing yourself and having others and you yourself returning the favor to give others the opportunity to display their courage. Which is why a lot of laws and policies coming into place in various states in this country about gender affirming care or sexuality, whatever the case may be, we deserve to have a choice how we live our lives. The minute that choice is taken from us, what is courage? What is it? Except in the face of where we look at a law that may be in the books, but is it a moral law? Is it a right law? Is it a true law? And then those living courageously become illegal, and that is not right. That is not right. We deserve to have freedom and liberty to make the choice to be courageous. And I think that that's the message that you need to hear today. So I really want you to understand, and I really want to drive home the fact that courage continues to be something that we need to work towards as a community, as a species. Courage to say when we are right and when we are wrong, and when we should disseminate information and when we should keep it private. That all takes courage. And the human, we as a species continue to survive because of courage. But if we don't take action soon on living authentically and preserving our lives and allowing us the opportunity to live in equitable societies, no matter where we are at, we are going to fail as a species. We are going to fail, and we're going to see things fall with thunderous applause, to quote a movie. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you today for hearing me out, for listening. I want to thank you again. Thank Becky and Scott, People Diversity, Philip Lupo and his team, and thank the musical guests. And I want to say that in the end, live your life, and be courageous. So as always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Goodbye.
Thank you, Victor. We appreciate you so much. And Oracle, you're always amazing. You just are so smart and teach us so much. And the Wiccan perspective on courage is quite fascinating. So thank you both. And Philip Lupo and tech team, woohoo! Yes, that's right. We send them videos. Everybody sends them videos every week, and they put it all together and put this live thing out there for the world, and it's always awesome. So thank you all very much. If you are out there and you need this kind of work done, go to the address below and get hold of Philip, and he will take care of you.
Fix all of your problems.
Past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook group or Facebook page, but only for 30 days after their broadcast. After that, Facebook wipes them out. So if you would like to see past services, go to our People of Diversity YouTube channel. There's a playlist function there where you can search on topic, or you can search on faith. You can see the previous week. You can see the current week. You can see weeks back and back and back, and we have over 200 videos on that YouTube channel. So go there. It's good. You can get notifications about services coming up by joining the Facebook group, the Facebook page, or the YouTube channel. Also on Sunday evening at 5:45, we have a second broadcast of the morning service on Facebook Live. It's not on YouTube, but it's on Facebook Live. So if you missed the morning service or you want to watch again, go there.
Live events twice a month, the first and last Monday of every month at the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship Hall in Rockledge, Florida. So last week we did a solstice talk and ceremony. It was quite delightful. Jerry and I did that. It was a lot of fun. This week we've got kind of an extended version. Kim Ballou is coming in. She's going to do a concert from 7 to 9. That's our normal piece. But from 4 to 6, prior to the concert, Kim's going to facilitate a workshop called Bringing Your Community into the 21st Century. So whether you're a community leader, just an active community member, this workshop will benefit all of us and help us to be a more vital part of our community, help the growth, and help us to make a greater impact. Even if it's not pod, you can transfer this stuff into anything that you might be involved with, whether it be professional, volunteer, or anything. So bring a snack if you're going to do both, and we'll kind of hang out and munch in between. If you are a business owner, or just a person who would like to sponsor one of these Monday night events, it's $50 for the rent, and you can contact us at newwaypod@gmail.com. It's probably under there. Philip's doing that thing again. And we will, if you are at the event, we'll let you speak a little bit. If you're not, you can send in a little thing. We'll speak for you. Or you can be totally anonymous and just hang out and be supporting. So whichever way you want to play, we're grateful. Just dive in and play. That's all I got.
That was good. Our state that we are blessing today is Kentucky.
Kentucky.
The Kentucky Derby, which started in 1874, is the oldest continuously occurring sporting event in the world. Isn't that amazing?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Really. So let's hold the people of Kentucky in our hearts, blessing them and sending them love and good wishes. And we say these words together.
May peace prevail in Kentucky. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me.
Okay, next week we continue our dive into courage with Reverend Scott Donnet and Donna Frost. So join us for that. If you would like to support the pod, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org. There's a donate button in the middle of that page. Push that thing and help us out. We pay our speakers, we pay our musicians, and we pay our tech team. We're not going to pay him. I'm sorry. So next week will be a cheap week. But seriously, we do need all the help we can get with that to keep this thing running. We have lots of other costs too, even though we're virtual. So join us in that, and thank you for that. Then we're going to end our service today with a healing circle, energetic healing circle. Bring to your thoughts anyone, any situation, place that needs our love, needs our prayers, needs some help this week, and listen to these words, this song together, and send your energy out there into this circle and get some on yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Have a great week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of